Hey, welcome back to our study on being a man above reproach. That's what overseers are. That's what elders are. And we're looking at just the conclusion today of our study. So if you haven't seen the other ones, go back and watch those and then come back and watch this conclusion. So as we examine these qualities, you should remember that these are not just for elders. Yes, elders must live up to these. And when you're evaluating elders, you need to make sure that you know this person well enough to be able to evaluate this in their lives. You know, a lot of times when we're picking a new pastor to lead a church or something like that, most churches will just, they'll go on some kind of search committee. They'll have they might go online and go to an online resource to find potential candidates. But they don't really know those people. They don't know them, who they are as a person. They're hoping, I'm guessing, that these people meet these qualifications. But how much time do they actually spend trying to figure out if they actually do meet those qualifications? I mean, that should be where the main time is spent on trying to find a new pastor. It's like you have to get to know, okay, are they married? Well, then you have to get to know the wife, because the wife should know her husband enough to know if these traits mentioned here in Titus, and if you go to 1 Timothy, the wife should know if her husband is that way. So you almost want to spend more time with the wife herself than with the actual man, because you can find out, is she truthful? Is she going to be telling, is this man upright? Do you think he's upright? Well, give us some examples of how you know he's upright. How's that happen in your own marriage? Because one of the things is in the family, right? He's a one-woman man. Is he a one-woman man? So a lot of time should be spent. The elders should be spending, of the church already, should be spent examining the wife of the other elder. Or if you're, especially if you're pulling someone from outside the church, if they're in the church, you should know these people. You should be working alongside of them. You should know the family. You should know what's going on in the family. You should know the wife and be able to, if the wife complains about her husband, then okay, maybe this guy may not be qualified. We need to check this out. And so you need to look at those things and see if there's something going on there. So that's what we need to do for elders. But, these qualifications aren't just for elders. They're really for all Christians, all men, all women. Children should be trying to live up to these things too. So elders, just because you're not an elder, you can't be qualified an elder. If you're a woman, you can't be like, well, I'm a woman, so I don't have to do these. That's the wrong attitude. It doesn't excuse you from meeting these qualifications. These are what it means to be holy. Just because you may not desire to be an elder or you can't be one doesn't mean you're off the hook from, seeking to live a godly life. The moral qualifications should describe all men and women that are Christians. It should be a standard that we should all be striving to obtain. Charles Naylor said, "The Christian life is and ever will be a life of separation from sin and pride and worldliness. If you're not willing to be thus separated, then you should have common honesty enough to profess to be what you very well know that you're not. If you're going to be a Christian in name, then be one in reality. Your character, not your profession, will be what will matter in the final judgment." Romans 2:6-8 says, "He will render to each one according to his works, to those who by patience and well-doing seek for glory and honor and immortality. He will give eternal life. Those who are self-seeking, do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, there will be wrath and fury." So, after looking at these qualifications for an elder, these are all things that everyone in the church should be striving to do. If you don't want to do those things, you don't have a desire to do those things, then at least be honest with yourself. You're not really a Christian. If there's no desire to be the things and to not be the things, not to be angry, not to be greedy, not to be, an evil person, then at least be honest. If those things are true about you, be honest. You're not a Christian. You can still go to church, but don't be going around saying, well, I'm a Christian, because you're not. Be honest. That's what Charles Naylor is saying. Just be honest with people. Use your common honesty. That's common to, mankind. God-given, common courtesy. Just be truthful. Let us know, hey, I'm a greedy person. That's why I love money more than I love God. Like, okay, you're not a Christian then. Let's talk about that. But don't pretend. We got enough pretenders in the church. There's a reason why, people complain about hypocrites in the church, because there are. There's a lot of people in the church that aren't Christians. That's their first problem. Like, well, they say they believe this and they don't do it. Well, that's because they're not Christians. So the church has lots of people that are in it that are tares. They're not Christians. They were sowed by the evil one. So it's the truth. That's what you gotta understand. So, well, that's the end of our study for this week. There's actually, next time there's one more qualification that we're going to look at in the next verse. And then we'll wrap up the qualifications of an elder, and then we'll move on to looking at some false teachers. But next week we'll look at one more qualification for elder, and that has to do with the Bible, which obviously an elder has to know the Bible. So come back next time and we'll take a look at that.